So, everybody, I just realized that the past 5 minutes or so of me talking was completely unstreamed. So, we're going to go back to the beginning. Let's wind it back, okay? As you can see on the screen, this is my lovely folder of information, if you will. It's only for my YouTube channel. I've realized that someday this misinformation, not even misinformation, this mismanagement of information on my desktop that you can see will catch up to me as I am running out of space. Now, I do have a second desktop. Yeah, I have 2 monitors. But is it worth using? I still have yet to decide that. Hopefully, let me just check misinformation. This perfect. The stream is actually going this time, and it sounds just fine. So, awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up great old Google Earth, the one and only. I was looking at Google Earth Pro earlier, so that is what I'll talk to you about. But what we'll do here is we'll go to San Francisco, the great old city. And I was just here for an open source live event where basically all of the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM YouTubers go. It is like the crazy people showing of, them doing crazy things. So you have people like StyroPyro, Vsauce, Action Labs, Scott Manley. I mean, all of these like big, top tier YouTubers are at an event like this. So it was pretty cool. We got to see, let's see, pull up the Instagram. It is private, but you guys can follow. Let's see. Boom, right here. So look at this. Griffin and me in front of the Open Source Live head. Apparently these eyes were supposed to move, according to Griffin, but they don't because the people running this thing were probably, nuts to the wall, worried about it getting going. So feel free to dox me. That's cool. I don't really care. I got far bigger things to worry about. So here's my here it is. So feel free. It's all on the internet anyway. My account is private though, so you'll have to at least get past that. But yeah, here we go. StyroPyro, right? Styro freaking Pyro. He talked to us for like a minute straight. And there's only like one person like standing around him. It's like nobody standing around this guy. And if you don't know who StyroPyro is, he's like one of the craziest laser chemistry YouTubers on the entire internet. Really. I mean, this guy knows his stuff, and he's like just literally standing right there. Of course, good urbanism. What's so good about this street, Zach? You probably couldn't even tell us what's so great about this street that you decided to include it on your freaking Instagram post. I'll tell you. While generally I am not in favor of one-way streets or roads, unless it's like an actual like interstate, that's good. Unless it's like, part of a two-way system. But generally, if you have a one-way, with housing or businesses on both sides, it becomes quite the kind of thoroughfare for vehicles, and really takes away from kind of the urban sense. However, in this case, this one-way is one lane, right, which is part of the issue. The number of lanes of that one way, and the people very obviously are at the very least taken into consideration on this street, since cars are still allowed in here. This is a more people-centric street. Do I think this road should probably be maybe not entirely closed off to vehicles? So let's say this avenue needs vehicles, since there's like a garage right here. Let's say, okay, vehicles need to come through here. This is very much an alleyway or back street or anything that really takes advantage of the the people centric. What I'm trying to say, cars are not the only focus on this street. It's not completely pedestrianized, but it's close. Now, Arlette did just email me, as you saw. Um, so I have to email her. Why are people up this late? Like, go to bed, Arlette. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, let me just get this. Boom. Okay. That was rough. I just see the agenda for this week's Strong Towns Fargo meeting. Is what that was about. So, yeah, this street, although it's not perfect, it is. It's close to being. It's close to being perfect. It's also like just I don't know. This picture is like I just very much like streets like this with overhanging lanterns. I mean, Chinatown knows how to do it right in San Francisco. Every all the Chinese culture, it's amazing. It's wonderful. Okay. Next, Alcatraz. You may notice a pattern here. Alternates where the person is not the main subject of the image and where they are. There's a lot of artistic play put into this Instagram post that a lot of people don't notice, okay? And I will explain it as we go through. First of all, if we go back to the beginning, person subject, right? And basically, the explanation for this being the first picture here is this was really my brother's trip. And I wanted to show it as, you know, I'm more so along for the ride. This is kind of his trip idea. And I wanted to show that off here. That's why we're at Open Sauce. That is the reason we flew out here. The sole reason. But, you know, other reasons as well, like seeing San Francisco. The bridge. Fog covered this day. I want to emphasize the fog that upon our San Francisco bridge trip, the Golden Gate Bridge trip, we biked all the way over it. It was pretty awesome. San Francisco is one of the top biking cities, big cities in the United States. So according to People for Bikes anyways, which I did just get to attend a meeting with their CEO. So that was pretty cool. I asked her a couple questions. Pretty much saying all the stuff I'm saying, so who really knows? But anyway, biked across that. It was foggy that day. That's how the day went. Also, I have my opinions of the Golden Gate Bridge. You can cross it on foot. You can cross it on bike. But there's also 6 lanes of cars next to you the whole time, and it sounds like a goddamn freaking jet engine all the time. So if you're into that, it's fine. It could be way more pleasant, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. It looks great. It is amazing. It's cool. But it's not like this glorious bridge once you're on it, in my opinion. The views are very nice though. This is a completely different post. Okay. Styropyro, already talked about him. Safe Streets, already talked about this. Alcatraz, I made a joke. Looks like the prisoners get walkable cities, but you know, as common folk don't. Is it that funny? No, but it is important to realize that Alcatraz was not flooded with 6 lanes of freeway. And why is that, Zach? Why is that? Well, because they didn't have as much space. So would you put a ginormous parking lot on your piece of land? Well, no, it doesn't make sense. Now you see, land is like a lot more valuable than people make it out to be. And you're not gonna act like land isn't the base resource for literally everything and the thing humans have been fighting over for literally thousands of years. You're not gonna act like this base resource, which basically defines our entire personality and culture, is not important enough to not build a 6-lane road, you know, down the middle. I will wait for your response in bated breath. Thank you. Now, back to my Instagram. This is Lombard Street in San Francisco. I can't believe cars can still drive down the darn thing. Um, Basically, that's the joke. Yeah, this is a picture I really liked. It's Lombard Street. People bike down it. People drive down it, and there is a line of people waiting to drive down the street. Tourists all over. However, traffic calming measures in mind, safe streets ideology in mind, people-centric landscaped or green design. I mean, it's quite it is quite the pinnacle of street design in the U.S. I see why this is it's quite a popular street. I do. So yeah, this is a mollusk of sorts, some sort of oyster, I believe, with a few barnacles on it, which are still alive. So we decided, let's let the barnacles live, and we threw them back out into the ocean. I don't really feel comfortable killing much of anything if I can avoid it. I do eat meat. Yeah, I do. I also eat plants too. It doesn't. I'll eat whatever, but as far as my own hand taking the life of any creature, I'm generally against it. Okay, I don't like killing things. I understand my life. Yeah, this is always a common argument. Well, you don't like killing stuff? Well, you kill stuff every day. Yeah. Gee. You really cracked this one, bro. You really cracked this one by saying, oh, well, you kill stuff every day. I'm arguing with, just points I've seen here and there on the internet. Yeah, but you're not taking it yourself, right? That's the reason why there's a difference between the trolley problem where you pull the lever and where you push someone off a bridge, but the outcome is the exact same. Okay? This is a very, maybe not well understood part of human psychology, but the fact that it exists at all is very well understood and, commonly corroborated. Okay? You're not going to act like some super genius when you say, well, you kill stuff anyway. I try to limit my killing. Thank you. Yeah. That aside, I know it doesn't pertain to what is going on here. However, yeah. Anyway, let's continue. So, mollusk, barnacle. We saved the barnacle. This is my brother Griffin. This is me. This is some cool vegetation I saw. These succulent flower things. I mean, it's very kind of it's not common to see this stuff in North Dakota unless it's in someone's potted garden. So seeing it in person just growing about is quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So there's some cool plants, some succulent variety, cactus variety, I'm sure. It's really cool. And it was in Golden State Park, so I believe it's Golden State Park. Yes, Golden Gate Park. Golden Gate Park. It was right around. We came in over here, and I will get to this Golden State Park a bit more because it's quite fantastic. So we came in about up here, I believe, in the flower garden. Nope. Did we come in here we go. Yeah, we came in right at the end. My bad. This is the flower garden that is pictured, and specifically right in this area. I mean, you could probably even see that same yucca plant looking thing. Yeah, somewhere here. Now, one sec. I am yucca. Quite. I gotta pee back. Be right back. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I'm back. So, yes, this is the yucca variety, the plants, whatever. Here's Griffin again at the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. The significance of this image is it's just my brother, and he's being silly. That's the significance. As you can see, he is making sure that you're well aware that he is the one supporting that bridge with his thumb and index finger. Okay? He is the one in this image. Although it may be hard to believe, that is exactly what is going on here. Okay? Shall we continue? What more do I have to say? Really? I mean, what more do I have to say? It's Caltrain. Riding Caltrain, we rode it once between... what is the name of that city? Let me figure it out. I always, like, forgot it. South the airport. Burlingame. Rode it between Burlingame and... Oh, no, sorry. From San Mateo to Burlingame is where we rode it. So we were staying at this hotel somewhere south of the airport, right here. This hotel, which this hotel's like actually massive. Ken didn't realize it was so big until after, just looking at it now. It's quite massive. But yeah, there's like a whole atrium inside. It's actually like pretty sweet. So that's where we were staying. We took Caltrain between San Mateo, which is where the event center was, which there's some walkable parts of San Mateo that I'm trying to find right now. I think is it this? No. There's like a nice, like, I really don't know where this event center was. Maybe down here? Over here? Dang, why can't I find this? Let's just look it up. Here we go. It's literally right there. Okay. So this is like, I don't know if it's like Silicon Valley or something, but it's like a very pseudo walkable city around here. And they have like I think these, let me see. Yeah, so these I think have been built in already. At least I think one of these maybe has, or maybe I could be completely wrong that either of them have been built in. But yeah, basically it's like already a pretty dense townhouse sort of neighborhood with safe streets, next to this very dense, like, walkable, people focused design. It could be way better, and there's still so much parking, but like it is, traffic calming is like definitely a thought behind this, and it feels nice and it looks pretty good, and we should be building more of this stuff. So believe it or not, yeah, these apartments are like $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and you're living in like the middle of suburbia. These environments are valuable. The reason we're not building more, I don't know, because car freaking centric ideology has such a death grip on our society. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that is the exact reason. Okay. Anyway, so this is a little Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't actually know if it's pronounced Cabernet Sauvignon, but it's the cheapest bottle of actual red wine you can buy, and it was $8, and I used it to make French onion soup today, which was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, there was this walkable little area right next to a Caltrain station, so look at the good density popping up right next to a Caltrain station, so I can commute literally by walking to the Caltrain station to downtown San Francisco. If this is not your daily commute, bro, I have no idea what you're doing. Also, Roblox right next to a Caltrain station. Nobody wants to live this way. Yeah, that's why it's the $4,000 to $5,000 a month, because people here know exactly how much money they're saving by not having to own a car. They can commute to and from downtown San Francisco by train, and believe it or not, that doesn't take up as much space as 100 cars now, does it? God damn! If people were any more, you know, any more believing, and you showed them something like this, they would still find a way to argue straight to your face. If they believed that what they saw here, if you showed them straight to their face that look at the type of development that is built around transit stations, and you said, don't you think that people want to live that way? They would still find an excuse to say, well, that's not how I want to live, so surely nobody must want to live this way. I love my 7 to 8 acres of land that I do nothing with all day, except mow once a week, and, have to pay all of the money to maintain and take care of it. Gee. I'm all for, owning whatever amount of land. Generally speaking, if you want a large plot of land, go all for it. But don't act like cities should cater to your bated breath in this ideology that they should pander to you, the outsider, the one who does not live in the city. Do you really think you should have the same right driving into a dense, people-centric environment when you don't even live in it? Do you genuinely think that? Now, if your answer is yes, I would heavily request that you think about what you're doing. Okay. Now let's continue. Yes, people want to live this way. It's that simple. People will pay a lot of money to live this way. So much so that they're probably paying more money than owning a car. It is a lifestyle that is desired, and we should at the very least build environments that allow this to be possible. Whether that's starting in the suburbs or more obviously starting downtown. This is something that should be easily allowed to build. More housing, more walkable, more financially fiscal or financially sustainable. Okay. Anyway, the event center was here. They had a few panels. They had a panel in here. This whole building was for show. This was a whole food court. There were more panels in this building. There are panels out here. There's gaming in this one, so all the gaming projects. This one was just more general projects. And I don't think this building was being used. But yeah, and then they had a bunch more booths and tables set up all in this area. So it was pretty cool. As you can see, it has not a whole lot of parking, so you might have to actually kind of show up early and hope you get a parking spot. Can't tell, I'm being a little sarcastic. Yeah. So it's cool enough stuff. Yeah, it was fun. It was very cool. It was why can't we lay more of this stuff all over the place? I wonder if these houses are expensive at all. Very European feel. I wonder if people want to live this way, huh? I wonder if people want to live this way. I'm sure these don't cost very much money at all. I'm sure they don't. Anyway, back to the posts. So, Caltrain, riding it was pretty decent. It was more I think it could have been better. The frequency was lacking heavily. The crossings were not the most convenient to access. It's a very large, kind of intimidating train. I know it's a suburban commuter train, so it makes more sense that it's large and big. But the frequencies, I feel could have been better. 30 minutes. I feel like 30 minutes is pretty lacking. Pretty lacking. I think every 15 minutes would be like probably where I would. I don't know. Based on my knowledge, I think 15 minutes would be a good timing for this train. Yeah, 15 minutes would be good. Hopefully faster, but yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah, they have the bike. A lot of people are using this bike freaking thing. The biking is pretty big in San Francisco. Like I said, it's one of the top cities. So people for bikes 2025. So this is actually like quite the big page. 2025 city ratings are here. Explore city ratings. Mackinac Island. Yeah. Surprisingly, 48's North Dakota. One of the top biking cities in the world. I don't know how they do these calculations, but yes, I have two Google Earths open. I was looking at this Park City, Utah. Damn, some of this is like really good urbanism. And believe it or not, yes, these houses cost like millions and millions of dollars. Because why wouldn't they? Why would people want to live this way? And why would people be willing to spend so much money to live this way? Gee. God damn. Okay. Anyway, that was where my girlfriend was staying. Was I in Bismarck? No. Where were we? Damn, what did I forget? Talking about biking. 48s. That makes sense. Okay, let's look that up. This is mostly just because I'm curious. Like, what actually makes 48s a great biking city? Is it just because I understand it's a reservation? I don't know if that's like an economic imbalance issue or what. It just seems like, yeah, I mean, it must just be a numbers game. It must just be how many people walk around. I mean, this is what financially insolvent development is gonna make sure that we start building more walkable cities. I almost guarantee it. A Google car. Yeah, it must just be since this is like a lower income area and people bike more. I don't know what else it could be. It is so funny though that this isn't built for biking. You know what I mean? Biking will be like the number one mode of transportation, and they'll still build for cars. Like we need to show communities that are small that we should be catering to the people who use, biking and walking over driving their giant vehicle through like Main Street and just revving it like crazy. It's like, why is that the case? I don't know. It takes up so much more space too. But yeah, 48's top North Dakota biking city. Watford City? Really? I wonder if this is for the same reason. I guess I could read how they do the ratings. Over time, reflect investment in bike infrastructure, adjustments to speed limits, and open street map. West Fargo, ND. Damn. West Fargo should have kept going, but they didn't. They dropped. What the hell? Embarrassing. But Watford City is up here. 82. Why? You detailed score. Access to parts of the city where residents live. Access to jobs and schools. Core services. Recreation. Retail. Transit. It must just be like... Interesting. I wonder how they come up with this. I mean, I guess it gives a, pretty clear, detailed score. But how are these numbers calculated? I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder. 10 minutes and I'll make you mine. You know, I'm we can make something happen, Sigma Bear. Make something happen. Not against that. Not against that at all. Okay, maybe I'm a little against it. I'll have to see what the offer truly is before I can make a sound claim on that. But just know that you are in my heart and thoughts. Anyway, 82%, 82 people. What is so great about Watford City? Horrible urbanism. It's not actually horrible. It's fine. This center strip is actually pretty good. All of this probably makes it makes absurdly more taxes per acre than like the new like development at the edge of town. I mean, this is just like shit you can look up. Like Urban 3 has done these studies like all the time. Honestly, the sidewalk like all over with like a 2-lane main street. Granted, this development pattern is horrible and like very car centric. Still seems like a narrow 2-lane street, and there's a nice bike path down the whole thing. I can see how this becomes big. I hope all this development. What is this? I wonder if this is like during the oil boom. I don't know how old these pictures are, but this could very well be during like the oil boom and like these huge housing camps, like basically temporary housing. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. But the fact that Watford City is so high. Bennett Campground? Is it camping? If maybe a lot of people camp here. I don't know. I mean, it looks honestly compared to a lot of other cities in the United States, this amount of like bike infrastructure and these multi-use paths is great. I don't know what this downtown Memorial Park. Oh, very cool. But yeah, could do with a lot less parking. It'd be so easy for a city like Watford City to just like be like, okay, guys, overnight we're gonna do like all of this, and we're totally like changing it. Cars are better than bikes. I would like to hear your opinion, because I'm not saying that I don't like cars on the occasion. I'm just saying that bikes have a lot of positives and a lot of big ones over that of cars. But I'm welcoming your thoughts, because that's what this is all about. It's very much a people-focused stream. Cars are better than bikes. It's an opinion, but is it? I mean, what about them are better? It's what I'm throwing the question at you now. I mean, you didn't throw me a question, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know why Watford City is so high, but apparently it is. Which isn't probably not the worst thing, huh? Let's see what else we got here. Bike score. Let's see here. Okay, go back. Alpha Phoenix, get through this post quickly. Golden Gate Bridge again. They're too slow. I have to get where I need quickly. Well, I ask you, Sigma Bear, why do you think bikes are too slow compared to cars? Where in other cities in the world, bikes are even faster than cars when it comes to accessing daily needs or places to be. That's kind of the question thrown at you now. I think it's a very deep understanding that it took me a long time to get to this realization. Forever I always had in my head big cities mean big freeways, big kind of main streets. And when I started looking at it and really started diving into this stuff, that whole idea is built around cars. And this is kind of part of what, the problem is. That whole idea of a big city with all these lanes of traffic is this very car-centric idea of a big city. That's what I will say to that. But I do understand your concern about getting where you need to go. I feel the same way, which is why I ride an e-bike, because our cities are very car-focused, so it's hard to get around by bike. So I do acknowledge that is the truth. Let's see, Watford City. But yeah, basically San Francisco is one of the top biking cities, and that's what I was going to say about the Caltrain, which in this image has a whole bike thing on it. I mean, people are taking their bikes into downtown San Francisco. It's pretty good bikeability-wise. Of course, you have the Transamerica building, very cool, iconic building. My brother, Dad, and I, in front of the, these are the three of us that went. Open Sauce. This, if you've ever played Call of Duty Zombies, is the Juggernog location in Mob of the Dead. So it's a little bit of an Easter egg to those who are well-versed in that. Michael Reeves, of course. There is an order to which I pictured the people we've met and who I enjoyed most talking to in person. Cyro Pyro was first, then Alpha Phoenix, then the Action Lab. These two were like tied. I thought they were like, I enjoyed them both. Let's see. Yeah, then Michael Reeves, he was fine. I didn't even post William Osmond because I went up to William Osmond and he basically just kind of like brushed off his fans. Like he was not like interested. Like, listen, I'm going to throw all the benefits in this dude's court. Every single one. I will say he is beyond stress managing this event. He has been busy all day. It's hot out. Whatever the case may be, he's not feeling good that day. Let's say all of that is true. What do you still do as someone who has a lot of aspiring fans, a lot of aspiring people coming up to you and being like, hey, man, I love what you do. Like, can I have a picture with you? Instead of being like, like he was all like, oh, yeah, sure, guys. Like, don't you think that the fans that you have cultivated, you should be treating so well, considering they are the reason you are where you are? I don't know. It's like, even if you have all of those excuses, you still should like just not approach your fans, just not go out in public. Like, if you are at the point where you can't even like give these fans like your attention at your own event, just stay inside. Like, you don't have to come off as this like dude who can't even talk to his fans. Sorry. Okay. So I have to say about William Osmond. Of course, you have a very iconic picture. My mom loves this picture, by the way. At the end here. Cool. That is the San Francisco Post. People for Bikes, San Francisco. Overall, pretty cool place. Down here, the what is it? Oh, down here. The a lot of good like very dense development. You can get anywhere easily by car somehow still in all of this, but definitely a lot more people centric design than than a lot of other places in the U.S. And it's very dense. So it's like people want to live here. People look you down the eye and say, people don't want to live that way. And while at the same time they're saying that, places like San Francisco exist. Yeah, it's just kind of absurd. So, a lot of good density in San Francisco. A lot of good stuff. Beyond the density, there's a lot of green spaces I noticed. There's a lot of like very interestingly built buildings like this. Like this building, like it's crazy cool. Like it only has like one axis here. Like how do you even get that approved? This building is crazy, dude. But yeah, it's like holy shit. These are some. I wonder if these are valued houses. You know, I wonder if people want to live this way. It's like a completely walkable like entrance to your house and whatnot. Very cool. Very cool. Nobody wants to live this way, guys. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay, I mean, if you think so. If you genuinely think that. But yeah, so San Francisco, great density. Japantown. This looks sick. I should have visited this. Bus rapid transit. There's a lot of good that San Francisco is doing. I think still there's a very heavy emphasis on vehicles, like anywhere, especially like, I don't know, Lombard Street. If I lived on that street, I don't know, I'd be sick of people being like, look, I'm going to drive my huge truck down that thing. I mean, it's only a matter of time before someone floors it and they go through your front door. You know what I mean? On a street like that. Oh, man. But and that it was a lot of good stuff. It was a lot of good stuff. Their hills were insane. Getting up the Lombard Street was like absurd. Okay, thank you, Wookie. You take care now. Sleep tight. Don't catch a fright. I actually don't know who you are, but I thank you. I thank you for commenting. You've made my night. You have made it. Good night to you as well. Good night to you as well. Okay, thank you. So, another thing that is kind of absurd. What else have you been working on, Zach? Well, it depends what you mean working on. And by Zach, if what I think you to mean is what have you been putting your effort towards, Zachary, then I'll be showing you right now. So there's on the side, I try to do a little bit of like 3D modeling. This is Pruja's printables.com, and there's a lot of stuff people post on here. The competitor Bamboo Labs is like not, it's a like Maker World, I think, but I have the app and it's like the Bamboo Handy app, and there's a lot of stuff on here. Yeah, the name's a little bit weird, but whatever. I work at a place where I am interning at, basically they build and design packaging machines for pharmaceuticals. And this packaging equipment has huge electrical control panels, like, right? I mean, DIN rail, Panduit, all of this stuff. So the Panduit, every screw in that plastic kind of cable tray that's on these panels needs a little washer and a little cap. So the wires, when the machine vibrates, don't wear down over time. Okay? That's the whole idea. I came up with this wonderful, wonderful design. It has the middle. Cool. Then it has, it's just showing the middle. What? Then it also has the bottom. And the top, which looks exactly the same. Except the threads are reversed and it needs to be printed in the other orientation. Yeah. Anyway, got 4 views already. Okay. Basically, it's for quickly sorting these out. So I have the device here. I have made it. And when I mirrored this, it also mirrored the threads. So the top is righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. But here we go. If I was calling it the caplicator, it's actually the caparatus. So as you can see, the caparatus. The caplicator is for putting these little white caps on 1-inch DIN rail, which is really hard to do with just your fingers. So that's the caplicator, which is also a 3D printed tool, which is where the name of this comes from. I asked my girlfriend, Amelia, I was like, hey, I need a name that needs to have cap at the beginning of it and also kind of explain what it does. The caplicator applicates caps. The caparatus sorts them. It is a sorting machine, a tool, if you will. Basically, let me show it to you. Let me get everything in here. Okay. These are the 3 parts. You have the top, which I have filled with the unsorted bags here. And I have, this is a little infomercial at this point, okay, guys? And I have the bottom lid, which is to catch the fallen washers, which are smaller than the caps. So the holes are 12 millimeters in the center here. The washers fall through, and the caps stay behind. It's really a genius idea. Nobody's ever done this before. This is my first time doing 3D printed threads. So as you can see, the threads they turned out pretty great. I just kind of did what felt right. Other than the top thread being reversed, this is exactly what I wanted. It looks like an explosive pipe device. It is not, actually. It is not that. It may look at that, but it is not that, as you can see. Very clearly, it is for sorting caps and washers of the Panduit brand. Okay. Here it is. Also, here is the middle section. First 3D printed thread attempt. So this is actually technically the first attempt. This was from just a video I watched quick on how to do it. And then I applied it to my own design, and it worked just fine. But yeah, it's a little bolt and nut. So yeah, that just screws on. This is an M16, so if you go like any smaller than the M16, dude said it might run into issues. Basically, this invention wouldn't have to exist at all if from the factory Panduit put the caps and the washers in separate bags. They throw equal numbers of both in the same bag. Genius. Great. Glad everyone's figured that out. That is how we do it. And they probably sell an equivalent device to mine that sorts the caps and washers. They probably sell that because they are a toxic company that preys on the working class. But aren't we all? Okay. So you have the top here. What you do first is you screw on the bottom. This is pretty cool stuff. Screw on the bottom, okay? It doesn't say bottom because the top says top, so deductive reasoning. You have the white caps and the washers all going in. Here we go. A lot of the washers will fall through right away, as expected. Lefty, tighty, righty, loosey. Remember, only for the top cap. It is marked top reverse threads, okay? Or threads reversed. Reverse threads. Whatever. It doesn't matter if it's reverse or forward, okay? And the caparatus. Again, that's an honest mistake, but as we can see in the description of this device, let me go to the description. Details. As you may have noticed, this is the Panduit cap and washer sorter, or the caparatus. It's also just a generic round item sorter if sized properly, meaning if you scale this to whatever size, or size the holes any differently, it will sort whatever you like if the 2 items or multiple items are different sizes and you just want to sort whatever item. Okay? Simple as that. Used in the industrial electrical. These caps and washers are used on industrial electrical control panels to make sure electrical wires are not worn down by exposed metal screw heads. Okay, there we go. Pretty simple. The caps are Panduit brand. Yes, they are. The holes are 12 millimeters in diameter if you would like to size the sorter appropriately. Okay. Also, one final note. The top cap on the sorter has reverse threads, so make sure to print both caps separately. Though they may look the same, they have different threading! Exclamation point. This was unintentional, but I'm going to choose to look at it as an identifying feature, ensuring that the sorter is opened upright and items are not spilled. So far, the apparatus seems to work great, which, based on the testing we're going to do right now, which is shaking the apparatus, making sure that it's tightly sealed. Okay? This is how you sort it. It's quite loud. As you may notice, that is one of the issues with it. How can we make it less loud? I don't know. And I don't really care. Because it's an industrial setting. So, it'll be okay. You also don't have to shake that much. You can kind of like do a little less shaking. Anyway, we'll take the top off. We'll pour out our... Actually, yeah, we'll pour out our white caps. I recommend pouring out the metal caps first. And then we'll twist off the metal caps. So I recommend taking this off first, just so they don't pour back in the white caps. But as you can see, there is all of the white caps in one bin, and all of the metal caps, metal washers, in the other bin. Yeah. The only issue is sometimes these washers they like get stuck in there during shipping, because they're meant to clip on. So you'll run into that. And another thing, yeah, you'll run into that. But you'd have to sit there and pick them out individually. This sorts the vast majority of them really quickly versus the previous method of just sitting there by hand and sorting them. Okay. You'll run into, you'll sort the vast amount of them in a matter of seconds versus minutes, okay? That's the idea. That is the idea. Okay. And then I've also been up to a few other things. Let's see if I still have them downloaded. So Strong Towns. I've also been up to promotional items. Here we go. The SDF keychain. This is a pivotal piece of marketing material for the Strong Towns Fargo group. And it cost me very low amounts of money, simply because, as you can see here, this is the model I came up with. So it doesn't cost me much because I can just 3D print them. So that's how we're doing it cheap at Strong Towns. It is, yeah, once we slice it, it looks very bad, and that is because I have to ensure job security and everything else, and say that firstly, this is meant to be scaled at 250%. This is because I'm not good at designing. I have learned a couple things since this. This is the actual size, and when you slice it, this is what it actually looks like. And it looks so good that I have a few here. They turned out pretty good, so I made a few of them. We also have stickers now, which I made at the NDSU Innovation Studio. A great place. I know a couple guys there. They're really nice. And they let me use the space and covered it as kind of their donation to the Strong Towns group. So it's great stuff. And that's more of a friend relationship as to why that was given. But, of course, you kind of got to know people. But they're very nice guys, and I will get them back someday. Then we've done some other promotional stuff here. This is honestly should go in the promotional folder. But, yeah. That reminds me. Hey, Siri. Hey Siri, remind me on Wednesday I need to print off the Strong Towns piece.
Okay. I added I need to print off the Strong Town piece.
Okay.
For when?
That is that's part of this. No, I'm not gonna open these ones. No, I'm not gonna open those. But yeah, so I uploaded it. We'll see what happens with it. It's a very specific niche item, but I'm happy with how it turned out, and that's essentially what's happening. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Any final thoughts? I think we are running near the end here. So, I'm happy with how it turned out. I thank all of you who tuned in for doing just that. This is a little life update, a um, little stream on San Francisco. Maybe I'll dive deeper into San Francisco, but I think this was a good little bit here. So, yeah, turned out pretty awesome. I'm happy with it. I am. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I work with a really crazy dude who I've talked about before. He is like, literally imagine Walter White. Literally imagine working with Walter White, but he's angry all the time and he doesn't kill people. Turned out pretty awesome. At least as far as you know. That is what it's like working with this guy. And he's really nice once he likes you. But until you're like close to him, he will not like you. And he will only like you if you like do a good job. I mean, fair enough, but like, he likes me, so what can I say? But yeah, this is the tube. I did this for free, and I'm not getting paid to do this. However, if you would like to support me, feel free to reach out and like the stream. That's enough support more than anything, I guess. So, but again, this stream is more of a venting thing, so I don't really intend on it becoming like huge. But if people do watch and are interested, I mean, this is stuff we're doing out here. Okay, we're not just an urbanist page. We're an engineering page too. We cover everything. Okay, cover everything. Thank you. Although it is urbanist focused, we cover a lot of stuff. Okay, I thank everyone who tuned in for tuning in. Again, this is the final here. So, thank you.